At this year's Shanghai Auto Show, Mercedes-Benz unveiled what should be the best S-Class the world has ever seen. There's no shortage of superlatives to describe this big boy. In fact, many people have called the S-Class the best car in the world, and surely from a few standpoints, it is. It's always jam-packed with groundbreaking technology, it's usually the most comfortable and elegant car in its class, and always seems to keep BMW and Audi on their heels, scrambling to come up with better and better 7 Series and A8 models, every other 8 years or so. The current generation S-Class, the W222, was introduced back in mid-2013, which means this recently launched facelift model is a car we'll all have no choice but to get used to for the next 4 or so years. This is it, and as always, it's a big deal in the luxury segment. Now, even though we'll be focusing mainly on how the facelift W222 compares to the original version, we will mention that what Mercedes managed to do with this car feels like, at least on paper, a proper response to the ultra-modern BMW 7 Series and all of its fancy tech. Keep in mind, you say minor facelift, we say yeah, but just look at it. Mercedes were never going to alter the exterior of the W222 in any significant fashion. The car has a certain timeless beauty to it, and, if you ask 100 people, chances are that only a few, if any, will come out and straight up say they hate it. The same probably goes for the W221 as well. With the 2018MY, you will find small tweaks both at the front as well as the rear. With the latter, aside from the slightly darkened tail lights, with new LED lamps, we can't really see any other changes, whereas at the front, we're looking at new headlights, radiator grille, and a new and more aggressive bumper. Changes to the radiator grille are really tough to spot, but the revised bumper and headlights however do stand out. If you look carefully, you'll see how the overall shape of the headlight is almost the same as before, except that with a slightly flatter bottom, so as to appear less elongated. The technology and graphics inside the headlights is different as well, as unlike before, you've not got 3 distinctive torches of light used as an step inside, sir, forget our rivals and just relax. Well, this is awkward, because the last thing BMW or Audi needed from Mercedes was an improved interior on its flagship model. Since we'll get into the gadgets later on, we're going to talk cabin aesthetics first, as the updated S-Class now features new open-pore woods, new leather trim, as well as new color tones and available combos. Perhaps the most obvious change compared to the non-facelift model is the new flat bottom, 3-spoke steering wheel, which is definitely more sporty. However, we do feel that some people could easily make a case for the older model's steering wheel. Not only is the older car's steering wheel more simple, but it's also way more elegant and unique, and since this is a luxury car, perhaps Mercedes should have just updated the older design. Comfy, safe, tech-savvy. Check. Check. And check. Let's face it, before BMW came out with their new 7 Series, we pretty much thought it didn't get much better than what the pre-facelift S-Class brought to the table in terms of features. But then we saw BMW's 7 Series and 5 Series, Merc's own new E-Class, and suddenly, the W222 wasn't the most advanced. Of course, an update to the S-Class wouldn't be complete without new semi-autonomous functions. Those lucky enough to afford one, will finally be able to park it using the remote parking assist function, just like you would with a BMW 7 Series. Among its several new active safety systems, we'll single out the active proximity assist, active steer assist, active lane change assist, active emergency stop assist and active activity activation. Okay, that last one we made up, but this car is anything if not active in trying to keep you safe. Drive or be driven. The new S-Class should excel at both. While we can't really tell you how the facelift W222 drives compared to the older car, you'll have to wait until the first batch of test drives comes in. Mercedes says that you'll now experience a smoother ride thanks to its new curve tilting function. This system works by tilting the body to the inside of the turn by up to 2.65 degrees, thus reducing the centrifugal forces perceived by the passengers. Will it make a big difference? Hard to say, especially with the S-Class already being so darn comfortable. What really stands out, if you like performance that is,